Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we're looking at something literally so special. We're going to learn how to deploy a project called Birthday Bloom. Now, if you haven't heard of it yet, Birthday Bloom is this incredible, open source, totally magical digital gift generator. And the best part? It requires absolutely zero coding. It basically lets you create a cinematic, interactive, heavily personalized birthday website for someone you care about. And look, I really mean it when I say anyone can set this up. You don't need to be a software engineer, you don't need to know a single line of code to make someone feel incredibly special today.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. We're breaking this down into 5 simple, bite-sized phases: getting started, preparing GitHub, deploying with Vercel, personalizing your project, and finally, the final experience.
All right, let's jump right into phase 1, getting started.
To pull this off, we really just need to get our basic tools together. And don't panic, there's absolutely nothing to download or install here. We just need 3 simple things: a free GitHub account, a free Vercel account, and a modern web browser. That's literally it. I really want to emphasize this again, absolutely no coding experience is required here. Like, if you can fill out a standard web form, you can 100% do this.
Moving right along to phase 2, preparing your GitHub repository.
So we're going to be using GitHub for this step. And if you're new to it, just think of GitHub as the website where the blueprint for our Birthday Bloom project actually lives. Now, you might hear the term forking and think, whoa, that sounds super technical. But let's demystify that real quick. Forking is literally just making your own personal copy of an open source project. Imagine walking into a craft store and finding a beautiful birthday card template. Forking is basically like photocopying that template and taking it home with you. Now you can safely edit, color, and totally customize your personal copy without ever worrying about breaking the original one back at the store. Make sense?
Okay, so here's exactly what you're going to do on the Birthday Bloom GitHub page. First off, you'll want to click the star button up at the top right. It's totally optional, but honestly, it's just a really great way to support the open source creator and help other people discover the project. Next, and this is the crucial step, click Fork to create your very own copy right in your GitHub account. You might also spot an option that says clone, but honestly, you can just safely ignore that one unless you're a developer who wants to work locally on your own computer. For our basic deployment today, just hitting Fork is the whole shebang.
Next up is phase 3, deploying with Vercel.
Now, Vercel is just an absolute game changer. It's one of the easiest platforms out there for beginners. Think of it as the magical engine that takes your project blueprint and puts it live on the internet, totally for free. Here's exactly how we do it. First, open up your Vercel dashboard and sign in using that exact same GitHub account you just set up. Once you're in, you're going to look for a big button that says Add New and select Project. It'll then ask you to import Git repository. And because you linked your GitHub account, boom, you'll see your freshly forked Birthday Bloom repository sitting right there in the list. All you got to do is click Import next to it.
You know what's really cool about Vercel? It is incredibly smart. You might be sitting there worrying about, complex build settings or dealing with server configurations. Seriously, don't sweat it. Vercel automatically detects that Birthday Bloom uses a modern framework called Vite. It literally fills in the build command and the output directory for you. It handles all that complex behind-the-scenes stuff so you don't have to, completely getting rid of any deployment anxiety you might have.
Okay, before we smash that deploy button, we do need to talk about one more technical-sounding term, which is environment variables. Let's just bust that jargon right now, okay? In the context of Birthday Bloom, environment variables are basically just a simple form you fill out to customize the template. It's simply how you tell the website the birthday person's name, maybe their favorite color, and your personal message, all without touching a single line of actual code.
So right on your Vercel project setup screen, you're going to see a section to expand called Environment Variables. Go ahead and pop that open. This is where you actually add your custom project keys. So as an example, in the name field, you might type Vite_birthday name. And then in the value field, you type the name of the person you're celebrating, like Sarah, for instance. You add a few of these keys to customize things, and then it's the moment of truth. You clip that big, beautiful deploy button.
Right after you click deploy, you're going to see Vercel doing a little bit of processing. Just wait a quick moment for the automated build to finish its thing, and then you get this gorgeous success screen. Vercel is going to generate a live clickable URL just for you. Click it, and you will actually see your site live on the open internet. I mean, how cool is that? This is a huge micro win right here. You have officially deployed a modern web application.
Which brings us right into phase 4, personalizing your project.
Now that your site is actually live, we get to dive into the really fun stuff, personalizing your project to turn it into a truly emotional experience. And this perfectly shows off just how powerful those environment variables we talked about really are.
By simply mapping a variable name to a specific value, you instantly change the whole website. Like, if you set VIT_birthday name, it updates their name everywhere. If you set VIT_birthday color with a hex code, all the glowing gradients and buttons change to match that exact color. But honestly, the most powerful one is VIT_birthday relationship. By setting this to partner, friend, or family, you instantly shift the entire mood of the site, the storytelling text, and even the emoji effects.
But wait, it doesn't just stop at text and colors. You can totally customize the media too. By adding specific variables for photos, you can swap out the generic placeholder images with direct URLs to your own personal photos. You can even drop in YouTube links to create a customized video gallery right at the bottom of the page. And you can completely override the default text with your own heartfelt messages. You're not just making a website here, you're crafting a totally unique digital memory.
So here's a great question. What happens when you want to tweak these variables after you've already deployed the site? It's actually super simple, and there are two ways to go about it. First, you could push changes to your GitHub repository, like say you update your .env file, and Vercel is actually smart enough to automatically sync and redeploy the site for you. Or, what's probably even easier for beginners, is you can just hop back into your Vercel dashboard, update the variables right there in the user interface, and just hit redeploy. The updates will go live almost instantly.
And finally, we arrive at Phase 5, the final birthday experience.
Let's shift our focus to the real emotional payoff here. Like, what is the birthday person actually going to see? When they open your link, they aren't just staring at some boring static page, they are going on a literal journey. First, they're greeted by this cinematic typing intro that perfectly sets the tone. Then, they go through this interactive fake chat sequence that types out an emotional message totally customized to your relationship with them. After that, they get to interact with a digital cake, like they actually have to click to cut it. And the whole thing culminates in this beautiful, growing heart tree finale surrounded by floating particles and your customized memories. It really builds such a compelling story from start to finish.
Which really brings us back to the core vision of this whole project. As the creator so perfectly put it, Birthday Bloom exists to make digital birthday celebrations more personal, memorable, and beautiful. It is entirely focused on human connection and pure joy, rather than getting bogged down in technical complexity. The technology here is literally just the vehicle used to deliver a really wonderful surprise.
And hey, because this is an open source project, it completely thrives on its community. If you found this useful at all, there are some super clear ways for you to engage. Go ahead and star the GitHub repo, fork it to build your own customized versions. If you ever run into a weird glitch, report bugs by opening up an issue. If you have some brilliant ideas, suggest new features. And of course, if you do happen to have coding experience, you can even contribute directly with pull requests. The open source community is super welcoming and would love to have you.
So now that we've walked through exactly how insanely simple it is to go from a fresh GitHub repository all the way to a fully deployed, highly personalized, cinematic web experience on Vercel, are you ready to create your own unforgettable digital birthday surprise today? You have absolutely all the knowledge you need now. Get out there, start deploying, and go make someone's day incredible. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.